The story begins on an international spaceship, which was in the depths of space. This spaceship had a total of 6 crew members, whose names were Dr. Hugh, CDC Officer Miranda, Medical Dr. David, Specialist Engineer Rory, ISS Mission Commander Show, ISS Communications Officer Katerina. These 6 crew members were waiting for a capsule that was returning with a soil sample from Mars. And these crew members had been here for the past 8 months, where they were sent on a mission to research the planet Mars. But due to some technical fault, the crew was unable to control their capsule. Because they had been on this mission for the past 8 months, and they didn't want to let it go so easily. Now the capsule was moving very fast, and they were unable to control it. But then some asteroids collide with the capsule, causing it to go out into space. Now they become very tense about this, and they want to catch this capsule at all costs. Then Rory agrees, and he was about to catch this capsule. He puts on his spacesuit and goes outside. This was also dangerous for his life because he could lose his life, but he somehow manages to successfully catch the capsule. And the rest of the crew members are also very happy about this. After that, they have now found the soil they wanted. Dr. Hugh was in the lab, who was going to research this soil. Dr. Hugh takes a small sample from that soil and starts working. And they see that there is a single cell in this soil, but it is not moving. Dr. Hugh then changes its atmosphere and looks, but it still doesn't move. Then they reduce its oxygen and increase carbon dioxide, but still it doesn't move. Then they give it glucose, and then that cell starts moving. Seeing this, everyone becomes very happy and thinks that life is possible on Mars besides Earth. And he was very happy that they had found life on another planet. Then they contact Earth and tell the world that they have completed their mission. They also tell about this organism, which they named the child Calvin. Dr. Hugh could not walk. He was disabled with his legs, but he likes it here, because he didn't need a wheelchair here. He could float in the air here. Now it had been 12 days for that organism to come here, and it was growing day by day. It was changing from one cell to multiple cells. Each of its cells had its own brain, and each cell had its own muscles. He could feel the things around him. Dr. Hugh was the happiest because he was the one who brought this creature to life, and he was raising it like his own son. And seeing this, others also had happiness on their faces. That creature was very intelligent and could grasp everything. Now one night, Sho is talking to his wife on a video call, who is giving birth to his child. He introduces his wife and daughter to his colleagues, and he was also very happy. Now several weeks pass, and Dr. Hugh was raising that creature and playing with it. Now one day Miranda suspects that there is a malfunction in the ship, and all the crew runs. They see that the lab's air pressure has suddenly deteriorated. They were very worried about this, especially Hugh, because he had raised this creature like his own child. Then Miranda tells everyone that no one will go into the lab, because that creature might also be a danger to us, and we don't know that creature that well yet. But Hugh says that we should take advantage of this. Maybe we will find out about some disease. Anyway, Miranda agrees, and Hugh goes to the lab. He sees that Calvin has now become unconscious. He thinks of giving him an electric shock. He puts his hand in the chamber and gives that Calvin a shock, but that creature does not wake up. Then he gives Calvin a shock in another place. Then suddenly that Calvin wakes up, and he grabs Hugh's hand tightly. Calvin breaks his electric candle and starts breaking the bones of his hand. Hugh tries to pull his hand back, but to no avail. Calvin had grabbed Hugh's hand very tightly. Calvin then breaks one of his fingers, causing Hugh to scream. The rest want to help him, but Miranda refuses to let them do so. She says that no one will help him. When Calvin releases Hugh, the bones in his hand were crushed, and he had unconscious. Everyone else is worried to see this. Calvin now wanted to get out of that chamber box, but the glove was so strong that he couldn't get out. He was so intelligent that he goes back into the chamber and uses that broken candle to tear the glove, from which he comes out. But he does not harm Hugh. Then he goes to a mouse there. But the mouse considers him a threat and attacks him, causing him to back away. But Calvin catches the mouse and eats it, which increases his size even more. Just then Rory takes Hugh out of the lab. And as he is about to leave, Calvin grabs his leg. But David closes the lab door. Now Rory decides to act bravely. He takes an oxygen candle and starts burning Calvin, causing Calvin to back away. Then Rory takes permission from Miranda to kill Calvin. Then he takes the fire thrower gun and tries to burn it. But that creature was faster than they thought. He dodges Rory and starts running. But then suddenly he attacks Rory from behind and goes into Rory's mouth. Just then drops of blood start coming out of Rory's mouth. He starts eating Rory from the inside, and Rory dies. Then that fire gun floats in the air and goes near the fire sensor, causing the fire alarm to go off throughout the ship. All the air vents open. All the crew start closing these vents. But just then that creature comes out of Rory's mouth, whose size had now increased even more. He starts going into these vents, but before the vents close, he enters one vent. Now they are all in tension that it has now come into the ship and will kill them. Then they try to contact Earth for help, but communications go offline and they are unable to contact. Show says that the transmitter needs to be repaired, and only then can we contact Earth. Then Kate agrees to fix the transmitter, and she goes outside the ship. Kate says that the transmitter has become very hot, which is why we are unable to contact Earth. Kate says that she thinks Calvin has gone inside the transmitter. Show says that the transmitter needs to be checked. Kate opens the transmitter and sees that there is no cooling liquid inside it. Show says that Calvin must have drunk it, thinking it was food. But then Calvin comes out of that transmitter and sticks to Kate. Kate doesn't get much harm because Kate was wearing a space suit. Here, Kate says, how is Calvin breathing in space? Because you need oxygen to breathe in space. Show says that maybe it has a place to store oxygen inside it. Now Calvin grabs her leg tightly. Now let me tell you that in the space suit, there is a cooling liquid pack at the leg, which manages the temperature of the space suit. But Calvin pressed it so hard that the cooling liquid pack bursts, and all the liquid starts coming inside the suit, due to which Kate can't see anything. She calls David for help. David puts on his spacesuit and prepares to go outside. He goes to the ship's door where Kate's suit was now completely filled with that liquid. David tries to open the door, but Kate closes the door from the outside. She didn't want Calvin to go back on the ship again. That's why she was doing this. But now her time was up, and she died in front of them all, and she goes into the depths of space with Calvin. But Calvin finds out about this and jumps back onto the ship. Everyone starts crying after seeing Kate's death. There was no other way besides killing Calvin. David asks which way Calvin might come. Show says that he will try to enter the ship through the thrusters. But Miranda says, how will we know which thruster he is coming in from? Show says that every thruster has a sensor, and we will know which thruster he is trying to enter from. Then he starts coming from one of the thrusters, but then Show starts the engines. And he goes out from that thruster and starts going into the other thruster. Now by repeatedly starting the engine, the ship starts running out of fuel and the balance of the ship gets disturbed, due to which the ship starts going into Earth's orbit. Show says that I don't want to waste the remaining fuel and I have to stabilize the ship. Now Hugh says that this creature cannot survive outside for long, and when his oxygen runs out, he will die. If we seal ourselves and remove all the oxygen from the ship, we can survive. Now everyone likes this idea and they start their work. Calvin had now come on the ship and Hugh finds out. Then they start sealing themselves and start removing all the oxygen from the ship. Now they had all sealed themselves. But then Hugh starts feeling unwell. Miranda and David come to him and ask if he is okay, to which he replies that he is fine. Then they all start remembering Kate and Rory. Hugh says that this creature is not our enemy. He just wants to stay alive by killing us. He apologizes to everyone. The rest say that it is not your fault, it was all our plan. In the next moment, Hugh's health deteriorates again and he apologizes to them again for something and faints. But the rest don't understand this and start Hugh's treatment. They realize that Hugh's heartbeat has stopped. They give him electric shocks, but nothing happens. Just then Miranda sees something moving in Hugh's leg. When she opens it, it turns out that the leech is eating Hugh's leg. Maybe that's why he was apologizing to everyone. Because he had raised Calvin like his son, and he didn't want them to kill him, and he had hidden this from everyone. Now Miranda gives Calvin an electric shock, causing him to get up. And now his eyes are on these people. Now seeing this, all the other crew members start running away in fear. Calvin keeps chasing them. Miranda and David lock themselves in a place while Show is left behind. He runs to the sleeping chamber and locks himself in the sleeping pod. Calvin keeps roaming near Show's pod, but because the pod is closed, he can't do anything to him. On the other hand, Miranda and David go to Hugh, but now his condition has deteriorated a lot and he dies there. Then David and Miranda see that Hugh's tracker is moving on its own. David says that Calvin has eaten the tracker attached to Hugh's leg, and that's why we are getting his location. Then they make a plan and think of killing Calvin completely. They hang Hugh's body in the air and wait for Calvin to come. And when Calvin comes to eat Hugh's body, these people close the door of that chamber from the outside, and then they start releasing all the air from that chamber. They somehow try to contact Sho, but Sho takes out his transmitter and throws it away. Just then, David sees a space shuttle coming towards them. Maybe it has come to save them. And when it collides with this ship, it starts taking it away from Earth. Miranda says that it has come not to save us, but to send us away from Earth. And it had already happened that if there was any danger, the spaceship would be sent away. Now Sho comes to know that maybe someone has come to save them, so he immediately starts leaving from there. He starts opening the door where the space shuttle was on the other side, but Calvin was ready to attack him from behind. Miranda and David also try to stop him, but Sho had opened the door by then, and Calvin also attacked, due to which the pilot sitting in the other space shuttle died. Now this created a gap between the space shuttle and the ship, due to which all the air started leaking, and everyone starts getting pulled outwards. Now Sho also starts coming back into the ship, which these two are trying to save. But Calvin attacks Sho, after which Miranda and David get into the ship. And Calvin kills Sho and goes back into the ship. Now that space shuttle's balance gets disturbed and it collides with the ship with force, and the ship gets heavily damaged. And now the ship starts moving towards Earth, and that ship will collide with the Earth's atmosphere in 40 minutes. Now the condition of this ship was so bad that they were not able to control the ship either. Then a few hours pass by like this, and the two talk to each other for a while and remember their companions. But now it was getting very cold here, and now their death was certain too. They were most worried about Earth, that if this creature goes to Earth, it will destroy and ruin every human. Then David says goodnight moon and goodnight stars, and when he says goodnight air, he remembers something. Then he tells Miranda that I have a plan. David says that we have two pods, pod A or pod B. He says that I will take Calvin in pod A, and when he is with me, I will launch him and I will take him into the depths of space. And you go in pod B, and you will reach your home on Earth. But Miranda refuses to let him do this and says to find another way. But David didn't have that much time. After which Miranda also agrees to the plan, and then both of them wear their space suits and move towards their pods. Now David was looking for that creature Calvin, but he was hiding somewhere due to lack of oxygen. But then Calvin sees the oxygen candle and sticks to it, and David leads him behind him with the candle. And he goes into David's pod, and taking advantage of this, he locks the pod. Now Miranda also comes into her pod. She leaves a voice message on Earth that we could not control that creature. He has killed all our companions. And now our companion David is going to go into the depths of space with that creature, and we will always remember their bravery. And with that, their pod launches. As soon as the pod launches, it collides with something, causing them both to lose balance. However, somehow their pods get back on the right path. According to the plan, David's pod is supposed to go into space, and Miranda's pod to Earth. Then Miranda's pod lands in the ocean, where some fishermen are on their boats. Then the fishermen go to the pod, where we see that this pod isn't Miranda's, but David's. Because when their pods collided with something, their balance was disrupted, which caused Miranda's pod to go into space. And David's pod landed on Earth. The fishermen start opening the pod. David can't stop them because the creature has caught David inside in some kind of net and hid. Just then, two more fishermen's boats arrive, and Miranda's pod has gone into space. Now that creature has food and a place to live, and with that, our movie ends here. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.